firstly, the news that Saroj Khan passed away, I call her Sarojji, Master Ji, all of us do. Really, it's like a legend passing away. With all due respect, everything that we enjoy as young choreographers today is because she brought some respectability and dignity to this profession. As you know, and this is a fact, that before 1988, choreography was not even considered, a valid department to be recognized or be appreciated. It was because of her consistent work that everybody started taking notice and realized that choreography adds a great value to the cinema and to the business. And that's when the first time for 1988 she got her award as a choreographer for Ek Do Teen. But before that she had a huge body of work. And she started way back as a child artist, then became an assistant, and then a dancer, background dancer, then an assistant to a choreographer, and then finally got her big break in Sita Aur Geeta, which is, an iconic film again. She really was a very charming lady, and she was an iron lady, with a firm fist. She was somebody who really called a spade a spade. The one thing that I've observed in the current crop and culture, including myself, we are pleasers. We tend to kind of, please the producer or the actor or the main star in the film. Whereas, she as a choreographer was very clear that it was her vision. She would not compromise with whether the artist knew to dance or didn't know how to dance. She would adjust here and there. She would still make him or her look good. But it was very clear that it was her vision, and, she was the boss on the set, which is so different from what it is right now. Like, we tend to kind of, be more accommodating. And in some ways it's good, in some ways I think, we tend to kind of accommodate too much and compromise on the vision. For her, I just had a very special place, and I have to say that she has all my respect, because the way she was for me like the Fosse of Bollywood. I know Bollywood is not a cool term to say, Indian film industry, so I would say she was like the Fosse of the Indian film industry, just like how Fosse gave Hollywood, especially in those days, and musicals another genre. And because our films are musical, I think she is the Fosse of Bollywood musicals, of Bollywood films in our country. And rightly so, because just like Fosse, she believed in less is more, and the subtlety and capturing the emotion and being able to kind of say much more than doing too much. And currently, how we, and I say we because we're all a part of that crop of choreographers, we use a lot of, special effects, quick cuts and, glamorous sets and lots of dancers and costumes and styling. And whereas, with her, it was very minimalistic, and her best work was always when it was solo. For me, her best work is Dhak Dhak, because there are no background dancers, it's just a barn, and the emotion of the story is so beautifully carried forward. The way her muse, Madhuri, was her favorite muse, and the way she has justified that is also super brilliant. And that is why, when you look at the words of Dhak Dhak or Choli Ke Piche, it could have easily, gotten cheap and sleazy. And there were songs that were done that way. And there were songs, which I don't want to mention, but there were songs done by her contemporaries also, with similar lyrics, and they were so cheesy. But she would have the art of using her muse, that is Madhuri, and her skill to convert and give those lines which were meant for the first, the first benches, a single ticket, a single cinema house, showcases. It was meant for single cinema, not a multiplex. For those people, to get titillated. But she would have such a fine way of not making it crude and crass, and she would find and give it dignity. And that, for me, is epic. How she would make it so dignified and make it so beautiful. And that is the power of a choreographer, that can take something that is ugly, or that is something that is very provincial or pedestrian, and make it look so artistic. Now, for me, that is being a magician. That's being transformative. That's not just adding a layer. Most times, as choreographers, we just add a layer to make it more visually appealing. But transforming it into something different is just, only artists can do. And she's a thoroughbred artist. So, my deepest respect to her. She was a very powerful woman, and she was also, working in a very patriarchal society, in a male-dominated society, and an industry So I think though her struggle, her journey has been iconic. She has shared some very personal moments of her life and how she, at a very early age had to, really wear the pants in the house. And, from being an early mother, in her teen to taking care of the family, it has been quite a task for her. And, I think she has so many valuable lessons to give us in terms of life, in terms of career. My interaction with her has always been very charming and full of, fun, because we met in the sets of Nach Leve, which was a show which was only with her, and then I, got added on because of my success of Dance India Dance. So she was very amused. Who is this little kid who I've not even heard in the, in the industry circles? He has done some here and there 10 films, so no big deal compared to her body of work, and it's completely justified. So I remember once we were, performing together, and she was performing, I was performing. She finished her performance, but she sat and she watched, and she said, "Mujhe dekhna hai, tum kya karte ho?" So I was doing my dance, and then she looked at me and she said, "Idhar aao." And I was like shit scared because this is Master Ji, and so I was like, "Ha, Master Ji." He's saying, "Acha karte ho. Ye kaun sa style hai?" So I told her it's contemporary. She looked at me and said, "Dil se karte ho. अच्छा लगा. मुझे दूसरे वेस्टर्न डांस पसंद नहीं." And that was for me for like a very winning moment for me, and I felt like somebody whom I look up to. Like a lot of people tell you you are good, it's okay, but when somebody you respect tells you, that was a red letter day for me. After the ice had melted, and we got to know each other, and she knew that I had deep respect for her. And she kind of knew that I was a little bit of an outsider. I was not from the industry. So she also had a little kind of a soft corner for me, because she knew that, I was not from the industry. So, she could talk openly to me, not that she would fear saying, what was in her head, but she was completely, unabashed and unapologetic. And that's something that I always loved. And we were judging a show together, and, there was a performance going by, and then I, spoke, she spoke, I spoke. Then she looked at me, and the cameras were down, and we were having a break. She says, "अच्छा पकड़ते हो, अच्छा बोलते भी हो." I said, "हाँ मास्टर जी, अभी सीख गया, मैं बच्चा हूँ आपसे." He said, नहीं, तुमने अच्छा किया फिल्मों में नहीं जाकर, टीवी तुम्हारे लिए सही है." So I didn't know whether she was, giving me a backhanded compliment, or she was just being genuine. But that's Saroji for you. She will just say it as it is. So I just feel like I miss this kind of a person, in my life, and somebody that you really look up to and have such deep respect. She never hid anything. It was an open book. She had nothing to fear. डंके की चोट पर वो कहती थी कि हाँ ऐसा हुआ है और ये मैं हूँ. And amongst the very few people that I touch feet, because for me that's not a part of my culture, right? In the sense that I didn't grow up touching my parents' feet or my my nana nani's feet or anybody in the elders. It's just that's not a part of our culture. So it was a very odd thing for me, and in my head it was always like respect dil mein honi chahiye, apne zehn mein honi chahiye, and tumhare actions mein honi chahiye. So it was a very different way of thinking. I genuinely felt like touching her feet because I genuinely was a fan. I know she was not very healthy in the last few months. She was going through a lot of pain, and even some 2 years before we met at a function, and she was saying my back, my knees, it's just not working for me, plus this diabetes. So she was going through a lot of health conditions. So I know that she would be more relieved to be dancing for the gods up there, and she had a very tumultuous journey, both personally and professionally. She lived a very good life, and she has such a lot of respect in the industry, and for all of us, why are we doing this even today? Like, why am I doing this for? Because genuinely, I will not do this for many people. Very rarely. I'm doing this just because she genuinely is worthy of respect for the body of work and what she created and how she changed. There was a paradigm shift in cinema, in choreography because of Sarojji. So with deep respect, thank you.
Watch E-Town News Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. only on Zoom.